quickly catch up with everyone and have a quick look at the status of things before this daily change. While we can still see on the board, OP has had an incredible run again, up 21.8%. So we're looking at the Breakout Screener V2. And we're looking at the daily chart. So each one of these columns down the bottom is a daily candle. And we're looking at firstly relative volume. So OP has had a huge day, 200% of its expected volume, so 100% higher than what you'd expect on a daily candle. Sol up 221% there, but actually pulled back 3%, whereas OP had twice its usual volume and had an incredible pump up 22%. OP average change is 13.69%. So going back over the last 14 days, OP has had the best consistent run. Let me just grab a quick screenshot of this chart. There we go, got it. So relative volume, we can see, for example, ANC only hit 28% of its usual volume. Stores 43%. The market average 92%. So the market was slightly down in terms of its usual volume. So it was a slightly slower day. This is all about to flick across to a new day, by the way. So everything's going to reset here in a moment. Average change 13% for OP, down to TRX at the bottom. Look at Bitcoin, 1.77% per day on average, compared with OP 13% per day. We get a little scoring system here. OP obviously has the top score, down to TRX and ANC down the bottom with the worst score. And short-term score, OP was up on top as well. Okay, so here we go, fresh daily candle. There's our close for OP, up approximately 22%. And now we have a new daily candle starting. The board has reset, and this is my favorite part of the day, to build a new watch list. And I'll show you a few of the other settings just while we wait for this day to fire up. So we can jump across and have a look at all pairs. So the Breakout Screener monitors 40 pairs, and there are the 40 pairs. So the data's starting to flow in now. We're starting to build up a score for Aave. A few others are starting to get a score on the board. Percentage gain, look at that. Aave's up 0.22 already, 0.34 for BCH, 0.43 for ENS, and we're about a minute into the day. Average percent gain, we can see OP has the highest there, 11.85, and FIL 7.06. So let's jump back across to our sorted lists. And here we go. So fresh daily candle, relative volume. Surprisingly, TRX is going to lead the pack. How far in are we? 1 minute in. So TRX has a bit of volume flowing in. Percent change, currently ENS 0.33% up, and generally the market is starting a little lower though. In terms of building a watch list, this is really what we're looking for here, the average change. Any of these pairs that appear like they're about to have any significant volume flow into them, these are definitely the pairs we need to be looking at, because they're simply moving the most on a daily basis. I mean, I know I'd prefer to be picking up a pump on OP rather than Bitcoin or Doge, for example, or TRX. So TRX does have some volume flowing in now, to the downside, that is. TRX down 0.23. In terms of the score, we're not really getting anything useful yet with our scoring systems. We just need a bit more volume to flow in. Breakout strength is very interesting though. So on our daily, the breakout strength ranges from -50 to +50. So OP is on top with a breakout score of almost 25. Okay, so in terms of our strength on the daily chart, OP is definitely in front, followed by People, ANS, BNB, and APE. Market strength generally is positive, score of 5 for the market. And worst performer ANC with a breakout score of -7. We can see ANC is opening lower here, down 0.22. Now, if we want to see how OP is actually looking, we know it has a great breakout strength. It's not here on the volume scoreboard though, or on the percent change. So we can just jump back into our settings, show all pairs, and have a quick look at how OP is performing. So OP is currently up 0.1. It's chewed 1.13% of, sorry, it's up 1.12, sorry, score of 0.1, up 1.12, averaging 12% per daily candle, and volume is coming in at almost 1% of daily volume so far, and we are 4 minutes in. Okay, let's go back and have a look at all pairs again. There we go, we've got OP on the board now coming in third place. So AXS, Storage, OP are the best three at the moment. OP now has the best score, 0.1, and that score is made up of relative volume flowing in combined with the potential for the pair. So OP has the best potential for a daily candle move, averaging 12% a day, and based on the level of its incoming volume, the system considers it to be the pick at the moment, followed by AXS. So AXS has a stronger relative volume right now, but it's not on the board there in terms of its average change, so it has a slightly lower score, whereas our short-term score can see that it definitely has the current best percentage for the day so far and the best relative volume, so our short-term is going to get a score there for AXS at the top. Okay, the angle of these EMAs. So across the market, a 6 EMA across the whole market is up 0.2, which is great, and the 50 EMA across the whole market is up as well, 0.32. So these are not so much percentages relating to price, it's the angle of the EMA. So if you put an EMA across the whole market, a 6 EMA and a 50 EMA, they are both pointing up. So that's great. They're our short-term trend and our longer-term trend there. And then across the individual pairs, OP has the strongest 6 EMA and the strongest 50 EMA. So OP has the best midterm trend, price action trend, the best breakout score, third best score for the short term, top score in general, best average change, second best change so far today, up 0.87, and not yet on the board in terms of relative volume. So down the bottom here on the chart, we have daily candles going all the way back, and we can see on these daily candles who was the best performer for the day, the worst performer for the day, and the market average. So yesterday the market average was so low here, approximately 1%, whereas OP had an awesome day up 22, and Sol was the worst performer down 3%. So looking through in terms of building a watch list, a lot of these pairs at the top here are the ones we need to be focused on. FIL, OP, BCH had a couple of good days back here. Looks CRV. And again, we come back up here to the average change. These are really the ones that are continually making it to the top of the daily list. OP, FIL, SNX, ENS, and CRV. And all they need is high relative volume, and they have a great day. Okay, so these are daily change. Let's have a look at relative volume. So this will show us the relative volume levels. Okay, so relative volume yesterday, Sol had the greatest volume, greatest relative volume. It was at, from memory, a little over 200%. Oh, there we go. From memory, there you go, 220%. Whereas look at FIL back here on the day that FIL had that ridiculous pump, its relative volume was up 1242%. Okay, and these are the things I'm looking for constantly. This is all I'm trading. Unless something is 300 to 500% relative volume, I tend to just leave it alone. And there are days back here when I'm simply not trading, And then as soon as I get my alerts, because we can set these threshold alerts for volume threshold, relative volume thresholds reading a certain level, overall score, breakout score, EMA levels, we get our alert and we can start writing some of these breakouts. Okay, so that is relative volume. We looked at change. Let's have a look at average change. So every day there are little changes to this list. I mean, OP has been having an incredible run. Look at that, all the way back to the 18th of July. OP has had the highest daily average change. So whether it had an up day or a down day, whether you were long or short, you know that when you're trading OP, the daily potential has been an average of 11.9%, as opposed to trying to make money off Bitcoin when it's moving 1.5% per day. And you need to cover commission, and we've got Bitcoin here hardly even moving, as opposed to OP moving 12% a day. So as soon as you see OP start appearing in this list up here, or FIL, or SNX, ENS, or CRV, then it's definitely worth looking at. And immediately you'll know because they're going to show up over here in the score. And already we have OP showing up at the top of the score. And it's going to be down here. In fact, let's have another quick look and see what OP's relative volume level is coming in. OP volume 1.9. So on the board at the moment, we're only getting the top 5, and so BCH 2.24. So OP is sitting just down here below BCH at 1.9. Overall, we're getting a better score for 1.9 relative volume combined with an average daily of 11.9% move. OP is coming up as the top pair. Gala, on the other hand, doesn't have as high an average change, but it does have the second highest relative volume coming in. So Gala's coming in second place in terms of the score. Okay, average change. So that's our average change, best, worst performer, and we can see the market average there slightly changing. Okay, let's have a look at the scores. So if you were basing trades purely on these scores, you can see that the scores match beautifully with the pair that seems to be winning the percentage change each day anyway. OP, FIL, all the way back to the 18th again, and then we have RV look, CRV Matic. Okay, short-term score doesn't use the same look back period in its calculation, so it's a bit more short-term based on the actual price action right now. So again, OP won long-term and short-term scores yesterday. And we do see a few changes in here. See, it's not all FIL and OP, waves, BCH, CRV, Atom. Okay, so these are daily short-term scores we're looking at. Currently Storage on top. Storage has the 5th highest relative volume, and it's currently coming in second in terms of percentage change, which is great because we can see it is here top of the list on our short-term. Near, which is up 2%, is coming in second on our short-term scoring. And we can see both of those pairs are showing up in our main scoring system as well. So these two lists here are they've really got to be the basis of a watch list. And then you can factor in support and resistance levels and make decisions based on the actual trades themselves. But these are the pairs that are showing up on the percentage change list, relative volume, and high breakout scores, etc. Okay, let's move across to breakout scores. All right. So right now, breakout score OP on top, as we can see, and ANC down the bottom. So OP has had a pretty awesome breakout score for a while, and ANC, look at that, bottom of the list all the way through. So ANC's down, OP's up, and these breakout scores are pretty awesome to keep an eye on. And we get the market average in the middle. So we can see back here on the 18th of July, the whole market went from a negative breakout score into a positive breakout score. And this is the point where we saw the market start to grow. We didn't have any losers down here with breakout scores getting worse. All we saw was improvement in breakout scores and the top breakout scores getting higher and higher. Okay, so there's our breakout. Let's move on to our fast EMA. So this is pretty interesting. This is putting a 6 EMA and a 50 EMA across the entire, well, when I say the entire market, we're looking at the top 40 pairs based on daily volume. And we do have multiple groups. This is just group one that we're looking at the moment. So the 6 EMA, this line here, this green line, isn't the 6 EMA. This is the angle of the 6 EMA if it was applied to the whole market. So we can see the 6 EMA is pointing up. It's in an upward direction. And that's the angle of that 6 EMA. So we can see the 6 EMA did duck down below the center line, popped its head up, and now we've been up for a while now, since the 14th of July. The 6 EMA has been positive through this whole pump we've had recently. OP again on top has the strongest 6 EMA. I'm not going to bring up any charts in this video, but if you bring up an OP chart right now and pop a 6 EMA on it, its OP will have the strongest, sharpest angle EMA of all of the pairs in the group. Okay, and the bottom at the moment is Sol. So if you pull up a Sol chart, again, you're going to see Sol having potential pullback happening here with, in fact, let's have a look and see if Sol is up or down. It's not showing up on my other list. Sol, where are we? Sol up 0.33. Okay, so there we have it. That's the 6 EMA. Let's have a quick look at the 50 EMA. Now, the reason this is a little bit weird back here is because some of these pairs, OP, for example, hasn't been around for long. So when you're trying to apply a 50 EMA, it hits a point where it can't actually generate a 50 EMA for the whole market beyond that point. So there we go. From the 22nd, we're able to get a 50 EMA for the whole market. And here we go. We can see OP definitely has the strongest 50 EMA right now, and ANC, again, the bottom all the way through. So, new day, and now we can have a look. How long are we now? 16 minutes into the daily candle. And I'll just put this back onto daily change. Okay. So, daily change, let's have a look. We have relative volume near coming in at 5.5% of its daily volume in 15 minutes. Okay, so near, we've got to consider near on the top of our watch list for today. It's already up 1.82% and it has the best short-term score. Not showing up in our breakout strength top 5, but we can see number 4 on the 6 EMA. So it's definitely has some nice price action going on. There we go, third on the list for our 6 EMA. So in terms of a watch list, we've got to look at OP, ENS, and NEAR. Okay, what else do we have moving here? FTT has strong relative volume. Not seeing it anywhere else up the top here though, but it's definitely one just to keep an eye on. Gala. Okay, Gala's showing up as our 4th best percentage change for the day. Almost 4% of relative volume of daily volume coming in so far. Coming in 3rd place for our score and 3rd place for our short-term score. And look, it's not really showing up over in our EMA angles or breakout strength either. So that really leaves us with NEAR, OP, SNX, Gala, they're the pairs that I'll be bringing up to have a look at now. All right, well, to wrap up this video, what I'll be doing next is setting some thresholds for the day. So relative volume, as soon as a pair gets to 50% of relative volume. I'd like to know about it. So I'm basically looking for the first pair to reach half its expected daily volume. Percentage change, where are we now? 1.86. I might see which is the first pair to cross 5%. Oh no, so I'll bring that back, sorry, 2.5% growth for the day. No doubt it's going to be OP fairly soon. The average change, wouldn't mind seeing if anything else gets up to 10%. So if anything breaks 10%, I would like to know. I'm sure it's not going to happen today though. Threshold score. Yeah, let's keep an eye on 0.25 for the score. Breakout strength, I usually leave my breakout strength on 15. So far we would have received alerts for all of these pairs as they broke through 15. And behind the scenes there are 40 pairs, so other alerts will trigger for the pairs that we can't see on the top 5 there. Fast EMA, so 6 is the score for the angle for OP. ENS2, I think 2.5. If something hits 2.5, it's definitely pumping and I'd like to know about it. And the 50 EMA, OP on top at 4, ENS, maybe 2.5 as well. If our 50 EMA gets to 2.5, we'd like to know about it. Okay, and that's all fine. And these are our 40 pairs, so you can just click into these and change these 40 default pairs to any other pairs you like. Okay, so we've set that, just realized that's probably off the screen, sorry about that. Okay, so we've set up all of our thresholds. So now we're just going to set an alert here, add alert, and it's just the screener, any alert function call, open-ended, and this will be Breakout Screener V2 Group 1 daily. And there we go, alerts are set, and I'll now build a little watch list based on those pairs that we spoke about and analyze them in a bit more detail. I hope that was interesting. It'd be great if you could leave a comment and let me know if you found that interesting or if there's any additional information you'd like to know about anything we just looked at. That'd be great. And I'll see you soon. Bye.